Hello everyone, you are welcome to Mathematics Tour. In this video, I will solve the 09 questions in paper 3. If you are seeing this channel for the first time, please kindly subscribe to my channel and share the link with your friends to receive notification anytime I upload new videos. Let's jump into the 9 questions. Write the number 300,003 in figures. So we're going to have 300,000, that's comma, and 3. Okay, so the first place value should be for 100 and the next place value should be for 1000. So this is how it is written. Then let's go to the B part. Write 15,896 correct to 1 to the nearest 1000. Okay, so if you look at this, let me write it out. You have 15,000, then 896 to the nearest 1000. So this is the 1000 there, and then this one is like your decider. If it is above 500, then you round up, and if it is less than 500, you round off. So this one will turn to 1,000. So we add 1,000 to 15,000. That will be 16,000. So our answer should be 16,000. Then the B parts, we are to round to the nearest 10. So also if you have 15,896, so the 10 here is this one. So Y6 is the decider. If it is 5 and above, you round it up and it becomes 10. So this will be rounded up and it will be 10. So 10 add 90, that will be 100. So 100 plus 800, so that will be 900. So we're going to have 15,900 here. So let's go to the part C. By writing each number in the calculation to one significant figure, work out an estimate for the value of this. So this will be approximately 28.9 to one significant figure. That will be 30 times, then 5.49 will be 5 to one significant figure, so all over. So 0.472 will be equals to 0.5, then add 1.0. so if you do this by this, that is 30 by 5, that will be 150 out of 1.5. and if you take your calculator and divide this, so of course it is obvious you should get 100 here. So let's scroll down to part D. So find the value of square root of 1849. So you can easily make use of calculator and that will give you your answer straight away. So the square root of 1849 is 43. Then this one, 5 to the power of 0 minus 5 to the power of -1. So 5 to the power of 0 is the same thing as 1. Then minus 5 to the power of -1 could be written as 1 out of 5. So of course, this will be 4 out of 5. So 1 take away 1 out of 5 will give you 4 out of 5. So anytime you are subtracting a fraction from 1, okay, so what you need to do is just to take away the numerator from the denominator by saying 5 minus 1, 4. So over the denominator 5 straight away. So that is pretty simple. Then let's go to the Roman figure 3 here. 5 sine 30, take away 8 over 11. So you can use your calculator straight away and get your answer. And if you like, you can simplify it a little bit. 5 then times sine 30 is equals to 0.5 or a half minus 8 over 11. Then you can use your calculator to do 5 times 0.5 minus 8, then divide the result by 11. So if you do so, you are going to get negative 0.5, negative 0.5. So that's what you get there. So let's go to the next question. That will be 1E. So a cyclist travels at a constant speed of 8.5 meters per second. Work out how long the cyclist takes to travel a distance of 5.27 kilometers. Give your answer in minutes and seconds. So we already know that the formula for speed is equals to distance over time. So S is for the speed, D for distance, and T for time. Okay, so and here the distance D is equals to 5.27 kilometers. So we need to convert it to meters. Okay, so using an acronym, King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Okay, so from kilometer, this is kilometer here, we want to go to meter. So meter is in the base. So at the base, B is the base where you have meters, liters, and then grams. So now we are using meters now. So it will be kilometers to meters will be 1, 2, and 3. So you multiply by 1,000. Okay, so that will be the distance D now will be equals to 5270 meters. So that's the distance in meters. Then the speed is given as 8.5 meters. Okay, then we can now substitute into this equation. Let's call this formula 1. So then we can now substitute the values there. So S equals to 8.5, then is equals to D, that is the distance, and that will be 5270 over the time T. Okay, so now if you make T the subject of the formula, you're going to have T to be equals to 527 over 8.5. So if you take your calculator, so T will be equals to 620 seconds. Okay, so but we are asked to leave our answer in minutes and seconds. So what we need to do is to divide this by 60, because we know that 1 minute is equals to 60 seconds. So if you divide this by 60, so you are going to have 10 minutes and then 20 seconds. So that's what you get. You're going to have 10 minutes, then 20 seconds, because 10 minutes will be 600 seconds. Okay, then the remaining 20 minutes. So you have 10 minutes, then 20 seconds. So that will be the answer there. So let's go to the Roman figure 2. The cyclist increases speed from 8.5 meters per second to 10.2 meter per second. Okay, so work out the percentage increase in the speed. So the initial speed is this. The initial speed is equals to 8.5 meter per second. Then the new speed is equals to 10.2 meter per second. So the percentage increase will be the increase. So to get the increase, it will be 10.2 minus 8.5. So over the initial speed, which is 8.5, then multiply by 100%. So 10.2 minus 8.5 will be the increase. Then to get the percentage, it will not be percentage increase, it will not be this increase over the initial value times 100%. So if you take your calculator and work out this, you will get 20%. So the next question is question 2. Micah counts the number of letters in each of the 61 words in a paragraph. Some of his results are shown in the table and bar chart. So we have it from the table, then this is the bar chart. Okay, so we are asked to complete the table and the bar chart. So what we need to do here is very simple. So let's look at the table. So where you have when the number of letters is 3, okay, we need to get the frequency and for 5 respectively. Okay, so let's go to the bar chart. When it is 3, okay, 3 is this bar, so it will be 14. Okay, this is when the number of letters is 3, so the reading is 14, as you can see here. So I'll put 14 here, and to get the frequency when the number of letters is 5. So we just have to add all these together and subtract it from the total number of words, which is 61. So you just have to take your calculator and press 61, take away 7, take away 12, take away 14, take away 15, and take away 3. So you should get 8. So 8 will be the frequency when the number of letters is 5. So let's go to the B parts. So we are write down the mode. So we need to get the mode. The mode is the most occurrence, the highest occurrence. So you see that 4 appears or occurs 15 times. So that means the mode will be 4. So let's go to the next question. So that will be the B parts. So here, Grace also counts the number of letters in each word of another paragraph. Our results are shown in the table. So this is our results. So work out the mean. Okay, so if you take this one to be your X and take this one to be your F, so you need another rule. You can call that Fx like this. Okay, so that will be 10 times 1, that will be 10. So 2 times 18, that will be 36. 3 times 9, 27. 4 times 6, 24. 5 times 5, 25. 6 times 6, 12. Okay, so we need to add the frequencies together. So that will be summation F. It will be equals to 10 add 18 add 9 add 6 add 5 add 2. So that will give you 50. Then we need to add the Fx again. So that will be 10 add 36 add 27 add 24 add 25 and add 12. So that will give you 134. So the formula for mean, okay, will be equals to summation Fx over summation F. So if you do this, that will be 134 divided by 50, and that will give you 2.68. So that means the mean is 2.68. So let's write 2.68 here. So she picks one of these words at random. Find the probability that it has more than 3 letters. Okay, so already we know that the total, okay, the total is equals to 50. So next we need to get the number of letters that are more than 3 letters. So let's go up. So more than 3 letters will be 6 add 5 add 2, and that will be 13. So the probability will be 13 out of 50. So we have it will be 13 out of 50. So we scroll down again. So she counts the number of letters in each word in the next sentence. These are our results. Okay, so find the median. Let's arrange the numbers in ascending order. So we're going to have 1, then comma 2, comma 2, comma 2, then comma 3, comma 3, then you have 4, comma 4, you have 5, comma 6, comma 7, and the last one 9. So let's see how many numbers do we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you have 12. So if you count 1 to 5 like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 1 like this from the back. Let's count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have this. So that means you have 2 left. So the median is between 3 and 4. So we need to find the average. So by adding 3 to 4 and divide by 2, that will be 7 out of 2, and you get 3.5. So it is 3.5, and it is obvious it's in between 3 and 4. So that is 3.5. So we need to find the range. Okay, so let's scroll down a little bit. So to find the range is equals to the maximum number written as max minus the minimum number written as min. So that will be 9 take away 1, and that will surely be 8. So that will be the solution to that question. So we need to go to the next question, and that will be question 3. We have 50 Australian dollars to be equals to 540 South African rands. So we have the grid. Let's scroll down to see the question. So on the grid, draw a conversion graph between Australian dollars and South African rands. Okay, so it's very simple. So let's go to where we have 540 South African rands. 540. We need to scroll up a little bit. So 540 will be here. So this is 500. So 510, 520, 530, 540. So it will be here, okay, against 50 Australian dollars. So let's scroll down to see the 50 Australian dollars, okay. So the 50 is the last one here. So where the two intersect will be this. Let's come here. It will be this point here. So let me put that. So this is the point here. So that is where the two intersect. So of course, the single point we have here is not enough for us to draw the graph. So what we can do is this. Okay, let me quickly write this. When we have 50 Australian dollars, so the South African rand is 540. So let's divide this into two. If you have 25 Australian dollars, so that would be 270 South African rand. So okay, so this what we can use to get another point. So let's scroll down and plot this point. The Australian dollars is 25. So we'll scroll up, and then the South African rand will be 270. This 250, 260, 270 will be here, this point here. So I'll need to take my ruler and join the 2 points together. So that will be the graph. So we can join the 2 points together by drawing a straight line starting from here, and you draw downward like this. So that will be the graph of the exchange rates. So let's scroll down to see the next part of the question. So problem figure 2. A watch costs 1,350 South African rands. Find the cost of this watch in Australian dollars. So what we need to do is to write the Australian dollars as a ratio of the South African rands. So by default, we know that 50 Australian dollars is equivalent to 540 South African rands. So here we need to find the value of $1 Australian in South African rands. So that means to get 1 here, you have to divide by 50 here. So that will be 1. Okay, so you divide by 50 here. So that will be 10.8. So that means $1 Australian is equivalent to 10.8 South African rands. Okay, so it is easy for us to now get the value of 1,350 South African rands in form of what? Australian dollars. So we can now say that $1 Australian is equivalent to 10.8 South African rands. So now we want to get the equivalent of 1,350 South African rands in form of what? In Australian dollars. So we want to get what was multiplied by 10.8 to get 1,350. So you can easily pick up your calculator and divide 1,350 by 10.8. So that will give you 125. So that means 10.8 was multiplied by 100, and that's times 125 to get 1,350. So we need to do the same thing here. You multiply by 125, so you get 125. So the implication is that 1,350 South African rands will be equivalent to 125 Australian dollars. This is the next question. A plane leaves Sydney at 21:48 local time. So we can write Sydney here. So the departure time is 21:48 local time. So to fly to Johannesburg, so that will be Johannesburg. Okay, so the flight takes 14 hours, 14 hours 15 minutes. So we have 14 hours 15 minutes. That's the total time. So the local time in Sydney is 8 hours ahead of the local time in Johannesburg. So find the local time in Johannesburg when the plane arrives. So we have two ways you can do this. So what you can do is that you can firstly add um 21:48 to 14 hours 15 minutes. Okay, so then you will now subtract 8 hours, so that will tell you the arrival time in Johannesburg's local time. So let's do that first. So you can say you have the hour here, you have the minute here, so you have 21 against 48, then you want to add 14 15 minutes like this. So if you add 48 to 50, so that would be 63. Of course, we can write 63 in form of hour and minute, so that will be 1 hour 3 minutes. So I'll put 3 here, then plus 1 hour here. So if you add 21 to 14, so that will be 35. Add 1 again, the one you kept here, that will be 36. So of course 36 is more than 1 day, so that means you can say 36 minus 24. Okay, so that will give you 12 hours. So that means the 36 will be a day and 12 hours. So I can put 12 hours here the following day. So that means the aeroplane will arrive Johannesburg by 12:03. That is 12:03. Okay, that's the following day. But this 12:03 will be the time in what? In Sydney. So to get the time in Johannesburg, you have to subtract 8 hours. So if you subtract 8 hours, so that will give you 4:04:03. So that's what you get. You get 04 then 03. So that another way is to subtract 8 hours from 21:48. So the result will be the local time of Johannesburg. Then you can add 14 hours 15 minutes to it, and that will still give you 4 hours 03 minutes. So you still get this. So let's go to the B part of it. On the plane, there are 315 people. The ratio of children to adults is 7:8. So you can have adults ratio children, and that will be 7:8. So we are asked to work out the number of adults on the plane. So what will be the total ratio? The total ratio will be 7 add 8, that will be 15. So how many lots of 15 we're going to have in 315? So that will be 315 divided by 15. So if you take your calculator, that will be 21. You get 21 here. So that means if you multiply this by 21 and also multiply this by 21, so you get the number of adults and children in the plane respectively. But we are only interested in the number of adults on the plane. Okay, so that will be 21 by 7. So that will give us 147. So that means there are 147 adults on the plane. So let's go to the Roman figure 3. Another plane has 420 seats. 90% of the seats are occupied. Work out the number of seats that are occupied. So this will be 90 out of 100 times 420. So take your calculator, multiply 90 by 420, then you divide it by 100, so that will surely give you 378. So that means 378 seats are occupied. So we need to go to the next question. That will be question 4. Fiddle gives different amounts of water to some plants. The scatter diagram shows the height and the amount of water for each of 15 plants. So let's scroll down to see the question. Plot these two results on the scatter diagram. So that is 60 against 27. So 60 is here. Then against the height 27. So let's go up. So this is 25. So 26 and 27. So 27 will be this point. So that's the point for 27. So the second one is 85 against 41. So let's scroll up a little bit. 85 against 41. So 85 is here. Then 41 will be this place. This is 40. Then 41 will be here. So these are the 2 points on the grid respectively, this and this. So let's go to the next question. So that will be, what type of correlation is shown in the scatter diagram? Okay, so if you look at it very well, you see that this is a positive correlation. So as one quantity is increasing, the other is also increasing. So you have a positive correlation. So you can write positive correlation. So you can write positive correlation here. So the part C, one of the plants had a lower height than expected for the amount of water given. On the scatter diagram, put a ring around the point for these plants. So if you scroll down, you see that it is this point. Okay, so you circle this. Then let's go to the next question. So that should be question D1. So on the scatter diagram, draw a line of best fit. So a line of best fit. So let's go back there. So let's scroll down a little bit. So if you look at this point, let's see if you can join this point, this and this. So let's see how it looks. I noticed that it cannot capture this, so but you can only capture this and this. So if you draw the straight line, you'll see that this is what you will get. And if you remove the ruler, so you should have almost equal the same number of points on the two sides. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And by this side, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we are okay. At times, one could be 7 and 8. So the difference should not be that much. Okay. We have these 3 points on the line. So let's go back to the question. We have done that. So the Roman figure 2, another point is giving 65 ml of water. Use your line of best fit to estimate the height of these plants. So we need to mark 65 milliliters. So let's go back to the grid. 65 milliliters will be somewhere here. 65 milliliters. So 65 milliliters is here. So if you trace it up gently like this, okay, so you can do that, or you can simply make use of a ruler. So if you trace the 65 milliliters to the line of best fit and trace it to the corresponding height, you see that it is 30 centimeters. So you can go back to the page and write 30 centimeters here. So find the percentage of these 17 plants that have a height of more than 24 centimeters. So we need to get the number of plants that have the height more than 24 centimeters, right? So we need to find this. Then when we get the number, so divided by 70, then times 100%. So that will give us our answer. So let's go back to the grid again. So let's see the plants that have height more than 24. So we are going to have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we can now go to the next page. So to complete our solution, so we have 8 plants with height more than 24 centimeters. So if you work out this with your calculator, so that will give you 47.1 percent. So I can write 47.1 here. So we need to go to the next question. So that will be question 5a. So we have this rectangle. This rectangle has an area of 12 centimeters. So I can say the area is giving us 12 centimeters squared, and the perimeter P is giving us 16 centimeters. Okay, so this shape is made from 6 of these rectangles. So we are asked to find the area and perimeter of this shape. So to get the area is very simple. So the area of the shape, it will be 6 times area of one face. So we have 6 faces, and the area is 12 centimeters squared. So if you do this, so it will give us 72 centimeters squared. So let's scroll down and put 72 centimeters squared here. And for the perimeter, so we need to find the values of the length and the breadth, so that we can add all the distances around this shape. So to do that, we need to form a simultaneous equation. So by saying, okay, let's write here length times breadth, that's LB, that's the area, is equals to 12, and the perimeter 2 into L plus B, so that will be equals to 16. Okay, so you can call this one equation 1, this equation 2. So if you start from 2, so let's divide both sides by 2. Starting from 2, so we're going to have L plus B to be equals to 8, because 2 will cancel 2 here, and 2 goes in 16 8 times. So we can make B the subject of the formula. So that will be B is equals to 8, take away letter L. So this will be equation 3. So you can now put equation 3 in equation 1. So that will be L. So this is the value of our B now, into brackets 8 minus L equals to 12. So if you open the bracket, you have 8L minus L squared equals to 12. So you can bring 12 to the left hand side. That will be 8L minus L squared minus 12 equals to 0. So of course, this is a quadratic equation. So let me remove this. This is a quadratic equation. Then we can write it. Let's multiply each of the terms by a negative sign and rearrange. So we have minus 8L, then plus L squared plus 12 equals to 0. So we can now rearrange it to be L squared minus 8L, then plus 12 equals to 0. So we need to solve this quadratic equation now. So let's scroll down. So to solve this one now, so using factorization method, so we are going to have L squared minus 6L minus 2L plus 12 equals to 0. So if we factorize this, we're going to have L into L minus 6, then minus 2 into L minus 6 equals to 0. So that means L minus 6 into L minus 2 equals to 0. So that means L minus 6 equals to 0, or L minus 2 equals to 0. So that means the length will be equals to 6, or the length will be equals to 2. So it will be 6 or 2. So you can use any one of these two. Okay. So, but I will take I'll use L to be equals to 6. Okay, if L equals to 6, so I need to substitute it into equation 3, which is B is equals to 8 minus L. So that means B will be equals to 8 minus L. So I'm using 6 as my L to be this. That means B will be equals to 2. So that means my length is equals to 6 and the breadth is equals to 2. Okay, so if you make use of L equals to 2, that means your breadth will be 2. That means your length will be 2 and your breadth will be 6. So it depends on you. So any pair you use is okay. So I'll go with L equals to 6 and B is equals to 2. So I can scroll up and calculate it now. So from here, okay, so this place is 6, so this one too will be 6. Okay, so this one too will be 6, so this will be 2, this will be 6, this will be 2, 2, 2, 6, 2, 2, 2, 6, and 2. So you can take your calculator to add all these numbers together, so that will give you the perimeter of that shape. You should get 52 centimeters. So that means the perimeter is 52. So I'll write 52 here. So I'm done. So the next question, that's the B part. You ask to find the area of this triangle. So the area of a triangle is given as base times height over 2, and in this case the base is 16 centimeters times the height is 8.4. You need to be very careful, this is not the height. Okay, so divided by 2. So 2 here 1, 2 in 16, 8. So if you do 8.4 times 8, so that should give you 67.2. So that means the area of the triangle is 67.2 centimeter squared. So let's scroll down to see if there's another question. So let's go to the next page. So a circle has a circumference of 28 centimeters. Then we're asked to work out the radius of the circle. Okay, so if the circumference is giving us 28 centimeters, and we know that the formula for the circumference is equals to 2 pi r. So although this is the same thing as pi d, but since I need to get the radius, so I'll rather use 2 pi r. So let's substitute the values. This will be 28 equals to 2 times the value of pi is 3.14, then times r. So you can easily divide both sides by 2 by 3.14. So 2 by 3.14. So the whole of this, we cancel the whole of this, we are left with r. So if you now divide 28 by 2, then by 3.14, so you should get 4.46 centimeters. So this will be 4.46 centimeters. So let's scroll down for the part D. A cube has a volume of 125 meter cube. So the volume of a cube is given as L cube. So since the volume is given as 125, so it will be equals to L cube. So if you take cube roots of both sides, so that means the value of L will be equals to 5 centimeters. So L is equals to 5 centimeters. Then we also work out the surface area of the cube. So the surface area, okay, of a cube equals to 6 times area of one face, right? So the area of one face will be L times L. So we're going to have 6 times L times L, that will be 5 times 5. So 5 times 5 is the area of a face. So multiply by 6, that will give us the area of the cube. So if you take your calculator again and multiply out this, so you should get 150 meters squared. So that will be the surface area of the cube. So we can, okay, let's scroll down if there's another question. No, so let's go to the next page. So that's number 6. So for each collateral, draw any lines of symmetry and write down its mathematical name. Okay, so if we take this to be a parallelogram, of course, there will not be a line of symmetry. It will not have a line of symmetry. So I will not take it to be a parallelogram. I will take it to be a rhombus. So if I take it to be a rhombus, So I can have a line of symmetry along this diagonal. Then I can have another one along this diagonal. So I'm going to have two lines of symmetry. Okay, then I can call this a rhombus. So let's scroll down for the second part. So we have this. This is a kite, and it has one line of symmetry along this diagonal. So that will be a kite. Okay, so you can write a kite here. So we need to go to the next question. So this is the next question. So it's all about transformation. So the diagram shows three triangles A, B, C on a grid. So you can see the three triangles respectively. Let's scroll down. Let's see what we have to do here. So we have to describe fully the single transformation that maps A, triangle A onto triangle B. If you look at triangles A and B respectively, you will see that the transformation that maps A onto B is enlargement. It is obvious, and we need to find the center of enlargement and the scale factor. So to get the center of enlargement, so we need to join their corresponding vertices together. So that is, if I call this point, let's label this as P. So this should be Q. This should be R. So this will be P prime. So this will be Q prime. And this will be R prime. Okay, so I have to join P and P prime together, Q and Q prime together, R and R prime together. So let's join them together, and the where the three lines intersect is the center of enlargement. The three lines meet at this point, so this will be the center of enlargement. That is x equals to 4 and y equals to 6. So I can scroll down to complete this statement here. I can write the transformation to be enlargement. Okay, then the center. So the center will be 4 comma 6. That is x equals to 4, y equals to 6. Then the last thing I need to get is the scale factor. Okay, so the scale factor. So let's scroll up and see. This is the center of enlargement. So let me just use a point, a vertex from the object and the image respectively. From point R, let's count to the center of enlargement. That will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is 4. So if you now count, if you multiply by 3, that will be 12. So since 12 is not going up like this, it's going to opposite direction to the one we counted to center of enlargement. So let's see, we should have 12 downward in opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that means the scale factor is minus 3. So the scale factor is minus 3. Okay, so let's go to the next one. The triangle A onto triangle C. So let's go to triangles A and C. So this is triangle A here. This is triangle C here. Of course, it is not enlargement, it is not translation, and it is not reflection. Okay, it is obvious. So this will be rotation. So if you look at it very well, it is turned like this. Okay, so because for, okay, let me call this this will be P prime. Okay, and this will be P prime prime, and this will be R prime prime, and this will be Q prime prime. So if you observe the two triangles A and C respectively, you see that it is rotated clockwise by 90 degrees. Okay, then we need to find angle of what? Then we need to find center of rotation. That is what we need to do. So to do this, we are going to join two corresponding vertices together and bisect it. Then we can do for two pairs like that. So where the two bisectors meet is the center of rotation. So I'll start by joining Q and Q prime prime. So let me take my ruler and join them together. So Q and Q prime prime have been joined together. So we'll need to bisect this line. So we'll put center at Q prime prime, draw an arc by the two sides, then center at Q, and also do the same thing. So I have bisected Q and Q prime prime. So this is the perpendicular bisector. So I have to bisect P and P prime prime as well. I've drawn the perpendicular bisector of P and P prime prime. So that is this one here. And you can see that from here, it is telling us that our center of rotation is at the origin. So, due to error, due to bisection, placing the compasses like that, there may be little error there. So it is obvious that it is around the origin, about the origin. So let me do the third one, which would be R and then R prime prime. So this tiny blue one is the perpendicular bisector of R and R prime prime. You can see that they are very close to the origin. If you can see them, look at this blue one, the black one here, and the red one here. So they meet at this point here, very close to the origin. What I will write now, I will scroll down. I will say it is rotation. So then 90 degrees clockwise, and the center of rotation will be 0, 0. That is the origin. Let's look at the Roman figure 2. On the grid, reflect triangle A in the line x equals to -1. So that's the mirror line is s equals to -1. X equals to -1. So let me draw the mirror line, which is x equals to -1. So it will pass through this point here. So this is the mirror line here, okay, at x equals to -1. So what we need to do is to count each of the vertices P, Q, and R to the mirror line and reflect it to the other side here. So let's count from P to the mirror line. 1, 2, then it will be 1, 2. So this will be here. So I can call this P prime prime prime. Then let's go to Q. So let's count the same thing. 1, 2. So it will be 1, 2. So it will be here. So I can call this Q prime prime prime. Then the last one is R. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will be here. So I can call this R prime prime prime. Then I'll need to join the three vertices together, that is P prime prime, Q prime prime, and R prime prime. So this is the reflection of triangle A when the mirror line is -1. So let's scroll down for the next question. So this is question 7. So if you scroll down a little bit, so we are asked to find the equation of line L. Give your answer in the form y is equals to mx plus c. Okay, so if you look at the line, you see that the value of c is equals to -2 because it is the intersection on y-axis. Then the gradient will be, let's count from the intersection of y-axis, 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2. So we have a point here. So let's confirm it again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so that means the gradient equals to 3 up, then 2 to the front. Okay, so that would be 3 out of 2. So we can now use this to form the equation of the line y equals to mx plus c. So y is equals to 3 over 2 into x, then minus 2. So that is the equation of the straight line. So let's scroll down for the Roman figure 2. On the grid, draw the line y is equals to 1. Y equals to 1. Y equals to 1 will be along this line. So let's join it. So this is the line y equals to 1. You can see this one is not on the line here, is because the image is bending. Okay, so this is the y equals to, so this is the line y equals to 1. So we have drawn that, and let's see the one figure 3. Write down the coordinates of the point where the two lines intersect. The two lines intersect here. So that is x equals to 2, y equals to 1. That is 2 comma 1. So let's scroll down. So we're going to have 2 comma 1. The b part here, we are asked to complete the values for y equals to x squared plus x minus 8. So you can easily take your calculator and work this out, and when you do that, you see that minus 2 will give you negative 6, then 1 will give you negative 6 as well, and 4 will give you 12. So these are the values. Then Roman figure 2, on the grid, draw the graph of y equals to x squared plus x minus 8 for minus 4 less than or equals to x is less than or equals to 4. So you need to plot all these points here. So we need to scroll up a little bit. Then we have the value. So when s equals to minus 4, then y is equals to 4. So it will be this point here. So when x equals to minus 3, y is equals to minus 2. So it will be this point here. So when s equals to minus 2, we have minus 6. It will be this point here. Then minus 1 against minus 8. It will be here. This point here. Then 0 against minus 8 as well. It will be on this. Then 1 against negative 6. It will be here. Then 2 against negative 2, it will be here. Then we have 3 against 4. 3 against 4, it will be here. Then you have 4 against 12, so it will be here. So the next thing we need to do is to draw these together. Okay, we join them together. So I just have to use a broken line to do the rough sketch like this. So if you have your own French curve, so you can easily use it to join them together. Okay, so let's see the next question here. So use the graph. So write down the equation of the line of symmetry of the graph. So the line of symmetry, it will be a line that divides the shape into two equal halves. So if you look at it very well, the line of symmetry will be the middle of 0 and negative 1, thereabouts here. If you trace it down here like this, it will be at the middle. So you can easily join it using a ruler. It will be minus 0.5 here. It will be minus 0.5. So it is minus 0.5. Then use the graph to solve the equation x squared plus x minus 8 equals to 0. So it is the point where that curve touches the y-axis. It will be this point and this point. It will be 2.25 and minus 3.35. So I have x equals to 2.25, which is 2.3, and then 3.3. This is question 8. So we are asked to find the value of t when p is equals to 6 and q equals to 8. So let's substitute the values. You have t to be equals to 5 into the value of p is equals to 6. Then add 3 into 8. So you have t to be equals to 5 times 6, 30, plus 3 times 8, 24, and 30 and 24 add up to 54. So I can put 54 here. Then let's scroll down for the b part. We are asked to simplify this. So these and these are like terms, so let's bring them closer. So plus 2a. Then these and these are also like terms, so let's bring them closer. We have minus 7b add 4b. So this and this add up to 5a. Then minus 7b add 4b. That will give you minus 3b. So that is, our answer here is 5a. Take away 3b. So that is the final answer. So part C, multiply out this. So this will be 5 times 2x. That will be 10x. Then 5 times negative 3y. That will be negative 15y. So the answer will be 10x take away 15y. So let's scroll down. We have to solve this equation. So these and these are like terms. So I'll need to bring 3x to this left hand side. So I'm going to have 5x minus 3x. The sign changes. It was previously plus, now negative 3x because it has been brought to the left hand side. Then it goes to, I have plus 19 by the right hand side. Then negative 1 needs to come to the right hand side to become positive 1. So I have 2x equals to 20. If you divide both sides by 2, you have x to be equals to 10. So the value of x is equals to 10. Then the part E, we're asked to make t the subject of the formula. So from here, I have p to be equals to 5t take away 3. So I need to bring negative 3 to the left hand side. It becomes positive 3, then equals to 5t. Then I need to divide both sides by 5. So when I do so, 5 cancel 5 here. So I have p plus 3 over 5 to be equals to t. So that means t is equals to p add 3 over 5. So that will be the subject of the formula there. Then we need to go to the next part. That will be part F, that is 8F. Entry to a castle cost $X for an adult and $Y for a child. Entry for 2 adults and 3 children costs $15. Entry for 3 adults and 5 children costs $23.5. Then write down a pair of simultaneous equations to show this information and solve them to find the value of x and the value of y. So you must show all your working. So what we need to do is to say this. We already know that the cost of the adult is equals to $X, and then for the child is $Y. So 2 adults will be 2x plus 3 children, it will be 3y equals to 15. You can call this equation 1. Then you also have 3 adults, that will be 3x plus 5 children, that will be 5y, then equals to 23.5. You can call this 2. So the next thing you could do is to try to make the coefficient of x to be equal in the two equations. So for that reason, we need to multiply the whole of this by 3, by the 3, that is the coefficient of x in equation 2. So we'll put 3 here. Also, we'll multiply the whole of this by the coefficient of x in equation 1, which is 2. So if you open the bracket from the first equation, you're going to have 3 times 2x, you have 6x. then plus 3 times 3y, that is 9y, then equals to 3 times 15, that will be 45. So we can call this equation 3. Then the same thing, let's open the bracket in equation 2. You have 2 times 3x, that will be 6x, plus 2 times 5y, 10y, equals to 2 times 23.5, that will be 47. So you can call this equation 4. So let's subtract straight away, because that is what will make 6x to be 0 in the two equations. Okay, so 6x minus 6x, so you have 0, so this and this are gone. Plus 10y minus 10y, that will be minus 1y, then equals to 45 minus 47, that will be minus 2. Then divide both sides by -1. Okay, so this will cancel this, then you have y to be equals to, this will cancel this, so you have 2 out of 1, which is the same thing as 2. So that means the value of y is equals to 2. So we can substitute it into any of the equations. So we have the first equation to be 2x add 3y equals to 15. So that was the equation 1. So now we have 2x add 3 into the value of y is now 2, then equals to 15. You have 2x add 6 equals to 15. So plus 6 goes to the right hand side and becomes -6. 2x equals to 15, -6. 2x equals to 9. If you divide both sides by 2, then x is 4.5. So that means x equals to 4.5, and then y is equals to 2. So let's go to the next question. That will be question 9a. So these are first 4 terms of a sequence: 2, 8, 14, 20. Write down the next term. So the next term will be 26. Then write down the term to term rule for continuing the sequence. So that will be add 6, that is plus 6, or you can write it in word. So that is add 6. So they both mean the same thing. Okay, so find the expression for the nth term. So let's scroll down a little bit. So the original term, so let's say we have n. So for the first term, we have the second term, we have the third, we have the fourth. So we can now write out the terms like this, like the terms. Okay, so the first one there is 2, we have 8, we have 14, we have 20. Okay, so from here we know that the term to term rule, so that is t to t, that is term to term rule is add 6, add 6, add 6, add 6. So we can use this to form a new term by saying 6n. So that is the term to term rule multiplied by n to form a new term. That will be 6 times 1, 6, 6 times 2, 12, 6 times 3, 18, 6 times 4, 24. So this is the initial term, and then this is the initial sequence rather. So this is the new sequence. So this is the initial one, I, and this is the new one. If you observe the initial and the new sequence very well, you see that each of the terms in the new sequence is 4 more than each of the terms in the initial sequence. Okay, so that means for them to be equal, we have to subtract 4 from the new sequence. So that means the nth term now will be equals to the 6n minus 4. So it will be 6n minus 4. So let's confirm this. If n is 1, you have 6 times 1, 6. 6 minus 4, you get the 2 here. That is correct. If n is 2, you have 6 times 2, that is 12. 12 minus 4, you have the 8 here, and so on and so forth. So that is correct. So let's scroll down. Find the first 3 terms of the sequence with nth term, n squared plus 1. So the first three, that means we need to find the first, second, and the third terms. So when n is 1, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 plus 5, you have 6 here. When n is 2, 2 times 2, 4, 4 plus 5, 9. When n is 3, you have 3 times 3, that is 9. 9 plus 5, you have 14. So these are the first 4 terms of another sequence. So let's scroll down a little bit. So find an expression for the nth term of this sequence. So what we need to do here is to identify the type of sequence we have here. So let me write it here. We have 7, 10, 15, and 22. So 10 take away 7, that will be 3. Then 15 take away 10, that will be 5. Then 22 take away 15, that will be 7. Okay, so you can see that we don't have common difference. So this is the first difference, and we don't have common difference. So let's continue again. This subtract this, that will be 2. Then this subtract this, that will be 2. So this is the second difference. So and the second difference, we have common difference. So that implies that this sequence is a quadratic sequence. It's a quadratic sequence. So what you need to do here is to divide the common difference by 2 and multiply by n squared. So that will be 2 by 2 n squared. So that will give us n squared. So that means part of our answer is already n squared. So let me write it here. So I'll use this to generate a new sequence. So I can say the initial sequence, the initial sequence is 7, 10, 15, and 22. So I will use the n squared that I have here to form a new sequence. Okay, so the new sequence will be n squared. So when n is 1, that is 1 times 1, I have 1. When n is 2, I have 2 times 2, 4. When n is 3, I have 3 times 3, 9. When n is 4, 4 times 4, 16. So next, we subtract the new sequence from the initial sequence. So that will be 7 minus 1, that will be 6. 10 minus 4, that will be 6. 15 minus 9, that will be 6. 22 minus 16, that will be 6. So since we have the same value here, constant here, that means what we need to do is to add 6 to this. So let's confirm if this will give us each of the terms in this sequence here in our original sequence. So let's see. When n is 1, 1 times 1, 1. 1 plus 6, 7. So when n is 2, 2 times 2, 4. 4 add 6, that is 10. When n is 3, 3 times 3, that is 9. 9 add 6, that is 15. Of course, this is very correct. Okay, so but in case of other questions, so if you subtract the new sequence from the initial sequence and you have another sequence, in this case, this must be a linear sequence. So you just repeat the same pattern to get your n term. So just like what I did up here in Roman figure 3 here, so you repeat the same thing. So it will give you something like this, and then your n term will now be n squared plus the n term for the new linear sequence. Okay, so that is if you have another sequence here, but here we have a constant here. That means we have to stop here, just add it to the n squared, and this is the nth term. This will be the end to the solution to paper 3. I must appreciate you for taking your time to follow through the solution. In the next few days, the solution to paper 4 will be available. If you are seeing this channel for the first time, please kindly subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to receive notification anytime I upload new videos. Please kindly share it with your friends to subscribe to this channel as well. Your subscription means a lot to me.